are now watching Jay in the Morning with your host Jay Harlem and Jay Moggenheim live on Mog TV.
Happy Monday, everybody. Since we made it to June, we're in June now. Okay. a lot of summertime. This weekend was the Puerto Rican Festival and Parade, so that officially starts the New York summer out here.
Okay.
You know, yeah, it was crazy. Had Bad Bunny out in the parade and shit, so everybody was going nuts out there. Had shitload of security.
It's funny because my homegirl in Colombia, he's an artist, a singer. Talented, very talented. I was impressed, but she was like, "You like Bad Bunny?" I was like, "He's okay." She's like, "He's trash. He's trash. He is not an artist." Like, she was going in. I was like, "Why you hate Bad Bunny so much?"
Because they still, once they go commercial, like they done sold out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. She did not like no Bad Bunny. I was like, "Damn."
Yeah. The same thing happened with Don Omar. Remember Don Omar? Like he was killing it. Don Omar.
Yeah, but I know when you say that name, I do know if he had a couple songs but
yeah, he started off like the same way Bad Bunny did, and he crossed over, nothing but commercial hits, and then everybody was just like, "Fuck out of here." He married some famous lady. Shit, speaking of music, you heard people are pissed off at Timbaland because basically a lot of people were saying, like what he was doing on TikTok was supposedly listening to new artists, and giving artists like his professional opinion and shit. But what motherfuckers didn't know, he was like collecting all the data and beats that they sent
taking
this
shit. Yeah, taking
and then he created an AI. He signed an AI like artist, and that artist is using all of his shit.
Hold on a minute. Wait. So he run that back. So he was basically scalping music.
People are accusing him of basically stealing motherfucking shit. And said after he collected enough data, he basically created an AI artist, and he signed that artist to his label. Like made it real. Like this is the AI, this is an artist.
But the AI artist is singing all the music that he didn't stole off the music off the internet.
Technically, but they don't have proof of that yet. But a lot of shit people are hearing and they're going, "Nah, that sounded like old boy shit." They're like, "No, that sounded like that girl shit." You know what I mean? Like this shit that they're getting from it. And they're like, "Oh," and then like he had a live, and all these like indie artists started getting at him. They're like, "Why are you doing that? Instead of helping us, you're destroying us." Like we need the opportunity, not a computer who can do something perfectly that's not really creating, but it's stealing. You know what I'm saying? And he's just looking like a dummy. I think he ended up like shutting down the live and some shit, if I'm not mistaken. Like, yeah, they started getting on him, bro. Oh, like they started. I mean, it's true, kind of what they're saying. It's like, there's a shitload of indie artists out there. They never gonna be ever seen on the big stage because the people that are on top is not gonna let them rock. You know what I'm saying? Pause. You know what I mean? So. We'll see. That's what's going on in the AI industry.
Yeah.
Everybody's job, bro.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Let's transfer these files. Yeah, that's just wild, man. It's just wild. Did you watch what you think about you watched basketball last night?
Did old boy get hurt from OKC?
I didn't see no injuries unless they happened in the last 5 minutes of the game, so I had to stop watching.
Like messed up his toe or something, unless he just injured it during the game and he came back or something.
Who, Shea or?
Yeah. I was like, that's because if he gets hurt, it's over.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things that you could that'd be the only ways that what's name could win would be some shit like that.
I mean,
hey,
it doesn't It does make sense, but it doesn't make sense. It makes sense because you adjust after a loss. You understand what I'm saying? You adjust, you make, you know what I mean? But then it's like the blowout, though.
Well, the blowout was, because the blowout was already predicted, right?
11, yeah, bro, 10, 11 points. That shit was, it was. That's crazy.
But I'm saying they already was.
But it was predicted like in the first game too, though. Yeah, exactly. 9.5.
Exactly. So there's nothing surprising about the series. The surprise already happened. They stole the game. Did they come back as they have been known to do? And you know what I'm saying? Right now they actually are in a position of power because they have home court advantage. They went in and stole game one. Home. Yeah, all that. You know what I mean? So from the standpoint of just a play, a finals, I'm a coach in the finals, and I'm going into game 3, and it's tied up. We already took a game on the opposition's home court, so we're in a position of power right now. Now we come in and lose game 3, then all bets are back to even. But right now, you know what I'm saying? They're up. Indiana's up. You know what I'm saying? In its grand sense. Now, looking at the prediction, you're playing the best team in the NBA right now, the team that has dominated the opposition by the most points, you know what I'm saying, and the most games. So you're already favored to get blown out. And you already see how fucking Shea and Chet they just too tall, you know what I'm saying? Too much. You know what I mean? And little jump shots are hard to fucking block that they got. Even nothing that they play great defense. Both teams play good defense though, but yeah, you get swarmed on, and they're young and they're fast, so it's a whole lot that Indiana got to deal with. They got to be playing perfect ball to be victorious, but they already stole one game, so they just got a
new name for what's Halliburton's new name?
Hallie Curry. Hallie Curry.
No, it was something else. They called him the moment or the something.
Oh, okay.
They blessed him with a new name because he did it 4 times or something.
Yeah. I mean, those have been clutch, bro. The dude, 4 times.
Just had TikToks of him saying he was possessed because he's always had changing his voice. You hear that? Like he sounds with a deep voice sometimes, and then he's like, "Yeah, but it sounds weird. Like it happens like mid sentence. It's crazy as hell." And he's done it numerous times, so it's like he's possessed. He got the what was that shit with Jordan? The movie with Bugs Bunny.
Oh, the Space Jam.
Space Jam. He got Space Jam, bro. He took over his body, the aliens, man. That's why he's winning.
The Monstars got a hold of him.
So, yeah, bro. I mean, here's the shit though. Like now after getting spanked by like that, it was like what 107 and 121, some shit like that. That was the final score or some shit. Like after getting spanked like that, like people will basically predict the next there's no way Pacers should be favored going into the next game, even if they're home. And if they are, you already know the fix is in.
But why won't they be favored for the next game?
Got stomped.
You said the score 121 to 107. That's 14 points. That's not a stomping. That's like 6 shots.
That's a stomping.
That is not a stomping.
6 shots they couldn't make, bro. They covered. When you get covered,
that's not stomping though at all.
Bro, when you get covered in sports, you got stomped.
You didn't get stomped.
You get covered in sports.
In my opinion, 14 points is not a stomping. It's what I'm saying. One, they've overcame that.
You got slapped. Okay.
You got beat by what the predictions was based on your tendencies. You know what I'm saying? Like based on your shot percentages, based on what you missed.
Me. I saw that was crazy. I guess it was great adjustment. It just wasn't expected, especially after the first game. I expected Indiana to be close and definitely to cover those 11 points. Like they to lose, but to lose they covered that 11. That's crazy. After they beat them, that's crazy.
That ain't like the comeback was the crazy thing to get beaten. You know what I'm saying? Like the first time you got,
But it's possible. They stole that off the Knicks, the comeback. You know what I'm saying? They want to be like the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? They had to steal something from the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? So they good.
No, that's exactly what they did to the Knicks. They just steal that. That happened the same thing with the fucking game one.
They stole the Knick magic, bro. They stole it. You know what I'm saying? We had to give them the Knick magic when they left the stadium. You know what I'm saying? We gave them the Knick magic. They said take this with you and win a championship. Okay.
No,
that's what happened, man.
Like, yeah, OKC has been a monster right now. If anything, Indiana is living in the anomaly by, you know what I'm saying? Like put it like every team, the point differential with OKC and their margins of victory have been what they had last night and greater, except for one 40-point loss they had this season. Other than that, their margin of victory is the highest and the most consistent in like a long ass time, some crazy ass stat that they breaking down. So them to win yesterday by that is only what they were supposed to do the first time. You know what I'm saying? Like the unbelievable shit the first. Like they're supposed to blow them out every game by like 20 points, according to.
You think their Pacers are gonna win? Or are they done for
another game? I think they'll win another game. I think they'll win the game at home. I think they might win the next game. They'll win one of these at home, but it'll be even going back, and then Oklahoma will probably get it in 6.
Game. Yeah, they gotta win the next game.
Because like I said, the Pacers got to play like almost perfect ball to stay ahead of these dudes. Because even yesterday I'm watching, it's like they can't go shot for shot with them because it's like they'll come down and like hold the fucking very good defense on Oklahoma City, and then still didn't get like a difficult ass layup, a crazy shot off, and then Indiana, the same defense will be applied to Indiana, and then they miss. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it ends up being like. That tight ass defense, and fucking Shea will come up with a little fadeaway or that little jab step. I call it like the Jordan fadeaway. Can't nobody stop it. And it's like after about 3 of those or them turnovers, the defense, it's just a whole lot they're dealing with, man. Oh, Jazzy P, what it do, boo? What it do, boo? In the morning, salute to Jazzy P. First comment of the day. All right, let me see here. Look at some of these clips on clips. With all that said, rolling to the first. Fuck is the clip? That's not it. Oh, that was I'm like, what is this? All right, let's see here. Like the way these clips is loaded up, since I don't have your notes on top of these, you got anyone in particular you feel like starting with?
Start with the right.
All right.
And there's one update at one.
The civil unrest in LA. Yeah, hold on. Reporter, that's the one. The reporter got shot by a rubber bullet.
That's the last one.
Yeah, you're a little muffled as well. Just so you know.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but it's a little muffled. All right, let me see what the first one looks like. You said that was clip 6, right? No, clip 9. Clip 9. So yeah, that was looking pretty wild out there in LA. Hit that like, spread the love. Shout out to the 3 on the building. Welcome to Jay's in the Morning, #1 morning show in the Polyverse. You could be anywhere in the YouTube lands, but you chose to be here, and we appreciate it. This is episode number 63 of our bi-weekly installment of Jay's in the Morning. Here we go with the first clip.
shot you in the head? You all right?
Yeah, shit's
first clip, I knew old boy was calling the National Guard.
Oh yeah, for hell yeah.
Cops fucking running out of there for their lives, bro.
And too, that's another thing too, because like, you know, in the beginning, I was kind of following the story how like the ICE went in, which is a federal agency. They was getting overwhelmed because they was underpowered going into the situation. They called for backup. Now you got federal calling for backup from the state. LAPD really didn't want to get involved because they still got fucking memories of Rodney King and other random shit, you know what I'm saying, to take over all the shit. You know, LA always has like a situation where the protesters take over the freeway. It's like common. They kind of used to it, you know what I mean? So they was already like, yo, this ain't really something we want to get into. Police can't really do shit. So they was just kind of standing down, just kind of like maintaining from what I was watching, and this shit was just getting crazier and crazier. So like you said, I knew he was about to call the army in next. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that's gonna come next. You know what I'm saying? And rightfully so. Like, this is a touchy, hot button situation. Like, you know, if I'm the president, you definitely got to quell that shit fast because it's all in response to your policy that you're putting in. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. It's just tough right now, bro. It's just crazy.
Like that shit could happen in Miami.
Mm-hmm. But now any ICE raids, you already know, like, you know, like when that shit happens and they start unleashing federal funds and signing some emergency acts, and like how, like, I heard that the statement from the president, it was like, we're gonna rescue LA, or LA has been overrun by the something insert, you know, like when they start changing the language of what they call in the crowd, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, they about to pass some laws. They about to
escape from LA. Escape from LA.
Yeah, that's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. I'm gonna follow up with the clip, the rubber bullet clip.
On horseback, firing rubber bullets at protesters, moving them on through the heart of LA.
Shut up, bitch.
Yeah, now you know what it feels like, Australian lady. You know what I'm saying? Like Australian lady on the boots on the ground.
Yo, he was tight. He shot her. You see him in the camera, just straight popper, bro. Look at the camera.
On horseback, firing rubber bullets at protesters, moving them on through the heart of LA.
Watch him.
Oh yeah, we was right Get your ass out of here. Yeah, hold on. One for the road, lady. Damn, that was real close.
That's becoming a crazy scene, bro. They said it's disrupting business, disrupting lives. You understand?
Yeah.
There's really like put this. Even while they're deporting people, whatever, there's no positive showing on that. You know what I mean? It's just more negative everything, from negative press to, you know, the people turning against the government. You know what I'm saying? Like,
let alone, you know what I'm saying? You know how, like, before when they was having the little riots, when it was the take over Wall Street, and then they were saying how, like, randomly it was like pallets of bricks and shit showing up. You know what I'm saying? Best believe it's a little bit of that shit going on too. Like, yeah, we about to assist.
They shut that down quick. That 1% shit, they shut that down quick.
Yeah, so
we're not trying to have that happen.
So we'll see. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I saw yesterday after they had, you know, put the National Guard out there, like people weren't fucking with them the same way. It's like, yeah, kind of changes. You know what I'm saying?
I think they're gonna allow for them to burn the city a little bit, because check this out. Remember, they just had that wildfire out in LA, right? Remember? and all that shit, right? They had that wildfire in California and burnt down all that shit, right? And we speculated and theorized why they were doing that, right? For the Olympics, right? Remember the smart city, all that bullshit. Now we already know the Olympics said, "Fuck you. We're not doing the Olympics in the United States no more. We're doing it in Canada and Mexico."
I thought that was FIFA. I thought.
Yeah, the FIFA shit. The FIFA
that's
shit.
the Olympics. Yeah,
I mean, excuse me. Yeah, not the Olympics, but the FIFA shit.
Yeah,
and the FIFA shit is huge, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, you know what I'm saying? Like that, you talking about countries from all over the world, and you're saying if you're not from this country, like imagine they just start taking up athletes. Like, nah, you ain't from here, bro.
Like, no, you gotta go to the United States. You run the risk of
just cheating. like the shit is crazy. How you lose a shitload of money for the country because of this act that you just enforced.
Yeah.
It's nothing small. It's not like, oh well, this shit we're not doing the Super Bowl. Who gives a shit? You understand what I'm saying? Like you still watch NFL games, but FIFA, soccer has become a very popular sport. Well, except here. You know what I
mean? Yeah, you muffled again. I don't know if it's your Bluetooth, but yeah, losing FIFA that's fucking that's kind of huge. I mean, you've seen what it did for where they just had it before they built all them stadiums. That was in Dubai.
Wasn't it the one in Brazil?
Yeah, I'm saying where they just had it last year.
Last one was in Dubai. Yeah, it was in Dubai.
Yeah, where they just built all them damn stadiums and shit just for that.
Different stadiums and shit. Yeah.
Just for the tournament. Now them shit sitting empty.
All that money. Thought she was going to get. Now think about that. We got the Olympics too, right? Or no? Or that was just for the FIFA shit?
That was for the FIFA.
You know what I'm saying? LA. We're not getting the Olympics, right?
Let me see. I thought they did have the Olympics in Los Angeles coming up.
That's what I'm saying, right? That might be next, bro.
Yeah, I don't see them fucking with the Olympics though.
Why not? If FIFA just fucking pull their card.
Yeah, that's just one sport though. The Olympics, they already have that shit like mapped out. FIFA is kind of like, I'm trying to think how I want to say it. Yeah, FIFA's like its own. It's like a league. You know that. It's like like the NBA or the NFL or some shit like that. Where the Olympics is more international. Like the United States got more pull in that. If you think about it too, because it could be like, even if the United States wouldn't retaliate by pulling their athletes out the Olympics, but we got enough pull and enough say so in that we can influence that heavily. Like nah. You know what I mean? On the Olympic Committee and just the amount of gold medals and the strength that the United States has. It's like we're not even the dominant power in the FIFA. Like even if they was like, fuck it, we ain't doing no events in the United States, FIFA's still gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? Olympics, they try to ban on the United States, that'll be a problem, I think. It'll hurt the Olympics down the line.
Does they have a women's FIFA thing?
I don't know. I'm very fucking ignorant to all things soccer like that. All I know is what Ronaldo just won, right? Right? Yeah. Sport, yeah. I can talk sports, but the soccer, I'm fucking ignorant as shit to soccer. But I know I just seen that because it's in the WhatsApp chat group. People was throwing shit with his jersey saying, happy for him, blah, 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 blah. Olympics schedule. Every 4 years. LA Summer Olympics 2028. Because 2024 was Paris, LA 2028. So, but at the time we'll have a whole other president. You know what I'm saying? They might. So it'll be a whole new set of political issues before the 2028 Olympics. Just like remember when they had it in China, and fucking China had all that smog, and then they like did some shit with all these fans and blew the smog out of there. Like when the Olympics come, we'll fucking do a lot of crazy shit. They'll make some amazing feats happen. Here's another clip in reference to the
Están mis hijas esperándolos en la casa. 6 niñas tengo que dependen de nosotros.
6 kids depending on them.
Está en un ataque de ansiedad, por favor. Ayúdenme.
Yeah, it's fucked up seeing these people that, you know what I mean?
No vengan porque se los van a llevar a todos.
So he basically showed up to court.
Yeah, they're showing for the hearing, trying to follow the law, and they're like, you up out of here. Nigerian nigga, you up out of here.
Yeah, got him.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, this shit's...
That's what I'm saying. They showing all this, and they're not. There's nothing positive coming from this.
Yeah, I mean, of course, that's the media showing that too. I know there's a whole bunch of other people that should be, you know, that need to get the fuck up out of here. They're getting the fuck up out of here as well. But yeah, the coverage ain't the same. It's just it's kind of looking bad. You know what I mean?
What they're saying is more non-criminal people are getting deported than the criminals.
True, but then I mean, they're easier access for sure. You know what I mean? Your criminal types hide
and say because they're illegal, it still goes because they're not.
Yeah, they're all criminals. I mean, that's what the that's not necessarily my true stance, but that is a stance though. Like, well, hey, what y'all mean only the criminals? All of my criminals are here illegally. I'm like, true, but fuck.
That's exactly what they're fucking riding on too. Pause.
Yeah, I mean that is what that's the stance at the, and I mean, I don't want to say rightfully so, but truthfully so, I suppose. It's just fucked up. I hate to see that because I know plenty of people that fall in that category. Shit, I know in my neighborhood there's a whole bunch of people that's here illegally, but they don't. I don't know. I think there's other ways to combat that. Like years ago, not to get all super political, but who the fuck was running for the president? Not McCain, but they had a fair. If we had a fair tax system in the United States, some of this illegal stuff wouldn't hurt so bad because we would just tax on things that we buy, and illegals that spend money here would, you know, that money still would get taxed. But that would be one of the ways to combat. Because I think too, like, you know, you say you have the high illegal population, and then you know they put strains on services and funds and different things and cost money, but at the same time they're essential to a good portion. You know what I mean? There's a lot of the jobs that has become a whole industry for illegal workers that, you know what I mean, even if it's shit that they turn a blind eye to, even if it's like migrant workers that be picking the strawberries and all that shit, like a lot of that shit gets done by illegal workers, even though it's, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know, man, this shit's just fucked up.
Yep.
Salute to them. I wish there was an easier way for, like, if they can prove that they are the good illegals, you know what I'm saying, that they get like treated a little differently. But in order to make an omelet, you got to break some eggs, and we're trying to make the motherfucking regular degular, the Bronx borough president. I need Jazzy in the Bronx. Salute. Regular degular.
You know, regular.
Yeah. It's a tough cookie to crumble, that whole topic. And so I feel the the pain of people in the protests and shit. I was thinking about that too. They're showing the protests on the highway when it just got locked down, and you show people like it's right there in the first wave. It's like, bro, what if you was going to work or going somewhere and you see all these motherfuckers on the highway? Like, what do? I'm like, bro, I got my truck. I just might put my shit in, they're about to smash your windows and shit up. If you go past them, they're about to attack your car. But I'm like, I can make it through the crowd. And I know my truck, it'll crush through all these people. I ain't trying to hurt nobody, but I'm about to put my shit in drive at like 5 miles an hour and just creep. If you get your ass in the way, you getting ran over, it's your choice. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through this fucking run.
Any forward motion could be considered vehicular manslaughter if you kill
Fuck them. They all in the highway. I'm feared for my life. I'm trying to avoid this crowd. Y'all is illegal. Y'all are humans and hundreds of people on the highway. So y'all is in the wrong. I'm driving home from work.
The pedestrian always has the right of way, sir.
Not on the motherfucking the 401, the highway. No, y'all don't. Y'all can get the fuck out the way.
They got the right of way, bro. You gotta stop.
I did stop. I stopped. You know what I'm saying? I let them know I'm coming through. I'm about to be rolling. I'm trying to avoid them at all costs. They choose to get in the path of my vehicle and stop.
Some of them will lay down in front of that shit.
They about to get their ass. They about to get ran over today. They about to get ran over today.
You going to jail, buddy?
Hey, and you know who's gonna fucking back me? You know I'm gonna run over these motherfuckers, and you know what? I just get a pardon. From motherfuckers.
So you better get part of my truck.
Yeah, about to get part of. We about to be like, that's an American hero. He was going to work. Like, fuck y'all, I'm going to work.
Man. An American hero for running over civilians.
Facts.
Damn.
No, I ran over motherfucking.
You ran over freedom fighters.
No, I ran over. What is it?
That sounds different. That headline sounds a little different, huh?
I was a freedom fighter. I ran over the illegal insurgents.
You was a disgruntled employee.
I'm going to work. I'm coming home from work. Let me see what the chat GPT would call those. It's nothing to hurt.
Shit. Call them pedestrians. That's what they'll call them. That's what they're called.
Drive.
That's a driver.
Protester.
You are aware of all your surroundings while you're driving. That's why you have a rear view mirror, and side mirrors. So you're paying attention all times. And you're going 5 miles an hour. That's even worse. That's like irritated.
No, I'm not going at. I'm not trying to like gun nobody down.
No, the only way that's gonna work if you really fear for your life when you jumped out the truck.
Then I'm a damn fool that jumped out the truck. They say you fear for your life. Why would you exit your vehicle where you were safe at? You had the most safety within the fucking your vehicle.
They were coming to get you. They wanted the truck. They didn't want you. They wanted the truck. That's why I got out of there because
that's why I ran over 12 people because they was trying to get in my shit. I seen that happen with some bikers one time. Like how the bikers did a little takeover and shit. So it was all in the fucking, and it was a dude in the truck that started fucking with him. And I was like, bro, if I'm in that, and as soon as I thought the shit, dude in the truck was completed my thought. I'm like, bro, if they literally was fucking with the dude in the truck. You know what I mean? The bikers was spinning around and banging those windows and shit. He just started running their ass down. And he got away with that shit because he was in fear for his life. But I was like, hell yeah. He started running over all their bikes. I was like, that's what I would have did too. All right. Neutral descriptive terms. You might call them demonstrators or activists, marchers, participants, crowd of protester, or rally attendants. You may refer to them as civil rights advocates, climate justice warriors, anti-establishment voices, grassroots organizers, pro-democracy campaigners. You may call them angry citizens, passionate voices, frustrated residents, determined change makers, or outraged communities. Me and my people,
communities.
I'm referring to them as dissenters, unruly mobs, flash mob protesters, and disruptors. You might call them torchbearers of freedom, or chanting waves of dissent, or urban resistance.
Resistance.
But when I'm in the crowd, I'm gonna have to call their ass agitators, anarchists, rioters, radicals, extremists.
They let that kid go.
Insurgents. Yeah, think about that. Here we go. Thank you. Hey, you're so good at bringing up points on both sides. I applaud you for that one. Yeah, let's go back to Kyle. I'm talking about, you know me. Kyle, whatever, that shot this motherfuckers down. He got away with that shit. And his dumb ass took a gun to the shit 2 states away. Insurgents. I call them looters, lawbreakers, instigators, violent, protesting, street vandals, creating chaos, public nuisances.
Breaking the law.
Rebels. Bandwagon rebels. That's what I call them motherfuckers. Let's get out of the way.
That should be a new term for a troll.
What was that?
Bandwagon rebels.
Bandwagon rebel. For a troll.
You don't call him troll, or you bandwagon rebel ass. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you little bandwagon rebel.
We changing it. That's the new shit in the space. We gonna start putting it out there.
Should I talk about bandwagon rebels?
What's that? I don't whack ass troll niggas. They ain't trolls no more. They just bandwagon rebels. Future got tight yesterday with a couple of them. He goes, "Don't watch. You don't like it? Turn it off." I'm gonna start erasing some of y'all comments.
Yeah, I've been. While we're on that subject, let's go ahead. What's going on in the space? Yeah, I didn't realize that he was over there again until last night when I logged in. I guess I knew the other day he said he was going, but he goes so frequently. So what's the latest, greatest over there? Anything noteworthy? Any cringe-worthy moments?
There's definitely a couple of moments. I mean, Bando's still out doing his thing, and Medi, you know what I mean? He was, and then Future was shooting some content, you know, when he first got there. He did a couple things. But then, you know, I don't know if you heard about Elvis. Elvis passed away.
Yeah, so Elvis was the editor, right? Elvis. All his stuff before.
Yeah, he was doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes and shit. So it's like, they like everybody took a day off, like a couple of days off. They ain't really doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we was still live, but like nobody was really saying that. They was just like talking about Elvis and shit like that. You know?
Yeah.
But he had supposedly passed away in his bed. He didn't wake up. People I talked to him the day before, man. Like, yeah, it was crazy. So it hit the space a little bit. You know what I'm saying? People who know him and shit like that. So it was cool, but now they got a little bit, you know, back on schedule yesterday, but still, you know, they not like Bando and Future.
Yeah, so Future Bando, okay, Bando left Online Nation. What happened? Is
no.
they fell out or what?
No.
Oh, they okay. I didn't know. No, I didn't know. I thought I misread like a comment or something, and you know, like I'm wrong.
That's how people wanted to put it. Because Bando's doing something different than what Future was doing. So instead of he's taking the Online Nation flag and doing it justice, it turns into Bando's better than you. We're not fucking with you. We fucking with Bando. And Bando, you should drop him. You know what I'm saying? That's what it became.
The bandwagon, what we just called it?
Bandwagon rebels.
That was the bandwagon rebels.
You know what I'm saying? Trying, you know. Yeah.
I got you. So there's no truth to that. Okay. I thought they fell out over you ain't spreading the love to the team, so we about to do our own thing. That's what I thought. So.
Oh nah. Because I'll be over there too. So it's just like what it is that hey, the Future takes longer to listen than Bando does. Bando listens. You know what I'm saying? Okay. He takes, all right, what should I do? I'm thinking about doing this. He gets the input and he go ahead and he does what he does. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why he gets the support, because he's actually out there trying to do what the subs and
so he's still actually put on for Online Nation and everything.
Oh, definitely. He's representing hard, man. That's like if a Willie go to Thailand, you know what I'm saying? You don't go, oh, well, let's make a big repage. let's make a, you know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and do that and say, you don't do that. Just go, yo, what does he represent? That's it. You know, but then again, you'll have those people, this and this and this and that, because they want that. They want to see him get shitted on, because that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? They're not in it for the entertainment. Like, Future's stuck in there now. Pause. He's already a figment in the space. He ain't going nowhere, bro.
No, he ain't going nowhere.
You understand what I'm saying? That's it. He's stamped there in the space, bro. He ain't going nowhere, bro. He's there. You know what I mean? But it's cool, you know. We're just chilling, man. It's chilling. Everybody getting ready for, I guess, Halloween trips, you know.
Yeah, I don't like to think about Halloween just yet, because that's fucking Halloween. When I hear Halloween, it means a couple things. Same thing with football. Like, I'll be hyped to see football, but if I'm like trying to rush to see football, then I'm gonna blow through the summer. You know what I mean? And so that's why I'm not trying to think about no Halloween shit. Because if I start focusing on that, it'll come really fast. You know what I mean? It'll be here before you know it, and you'll be like, "Damn, what happened to the summer? I got some great summer things, so I can't focus on Halloween." I got a July trip coming up, and I have a Labor Day trip coming up. We're trying to run back CTG again for Labor Day if we can. Before
August?
Yeah, for a couple days. I don't know. They talking about it. I'm trying to do it no matter, you know what I mean? I don't need a bunch of fellas. I do it solo. However, I would like
say, yeah, you got the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But other than that, yeah. Also, other things, random. We got some. The shirt press situation is about to be situated. So, you know, any of y'all is watching this on the replay live, you got any ideas or anything, you know, creative that you would like shirt wise, you know what I'm saying? We got to make
a couple of my shirts, bro. You talking about?
Oh yeah, we got a couple of your designs.
We got Inflation. It's Sue O'Clock. What's another one?
We're gonna have some, so you know we need some input from.
We're gonna put out we're gonna be the first one to put out the AO shirts.
The AO, okay, all right.
AO.
Yeah. So we want to be able to hit y'all with some of those, you know what I mean? So when we do a fundy or something like that, it'll be based around something tangible. Our fundraisers will include. You know.
I'm gonna have to reach out to Casita, but Casita, I need you to clip all the AO moments. We're gonna have like an AO segment on the Jason.
Facts. All right, moving along. Let's see what we got here for another clip. Not really labeled. Seen that one. Did we see this one right here? What is this? Yeah, what is this clip here? Let's just say.
Oh, pause it. Okay, so you know, a lot of YouTube beef going on in the streets, right? So this happened to be something that these two YouTubers met up in Vegas. I guess they're from Vegas, and something popped off, and somebody got the recording.
Okay,
got a hold of it.
So when YouTube beef gets real, basically.
When YouTube beef gets really real. Is it real, son? Is it really real, son?
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, I seen over there like reviving her. Okay, this is okay.
Thanks, Donut.
Oh shit!
Are you fucking kidding me?
What?
On live, dog. On the live, them on live. With the baby crying in the back, bro. Crazy.
So he was live and dude came and found him. I can see he came around there because you see how he's looking. Like,
they want to drop the Addy.
That's wild.
I on the strip in front of the fountain, bro.
See, that'd be the only thing, man. Like, you dealing with people who don't care about the repercussions. It ain't about being tough, you know what I'm saying? Like,
YouTube gets real.
Yeah. That's really, to be honest, bro. This is some hot topic situations here in my city that I like feel a way about, but I'm like, I don't even address some wild shit where some shit like that could easily happen. You know what I'm saying? One way or the other. And it's like, yeah, that's why you got to watch that shit, man.
Man, crazy. Walked up on him, put him to sleep.
Damn.
Bop, bop, bop.
But you see, like the clip before that was loaded up, it like that was another angle of it.
Yeah, that was the aftermath of it.
Yeah, over there where you see him,
he was
like,
laid out.
Like,
they was trying to revive him. Yeah, they was trying to revive him. Yeah.
That's
so
crazy.
I got that one because I went to look and I was like, I could get this one, boom, real quick, boom. Let me get right back to the other one. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, little quick remix. I do my own editing without editing.
Inline edit. What's this?
Clip it. Yeah, that shit. He came out with the blinky. Bang, bang.
That's just crazy.
That's it. I wonder what they were fighting about. That was the crazy part. Like,
yeah, motherfucking that digital pride, boy. Digital pride. I would do no shit like that to ruin my shit. Where I'm gonna go just pop somebody on the live. But that's just wild, man. That shit is wild. Speaking of wild, you know what I mean? You gotta watch how wild you are in your victories and in your defeats. A lot of people are wild in defeats, aka Keyshawn Davis's brother. That's a different one, but you gotta watch how you wild out in your victories as well. Here's a case in point where somebody was wilding out in their victory and they got DQ'd.
I worked so hard for that title.
The greatest moment of 16-year-old Clara Adams' young career taken away from her because of a celebration. After winning the 400-meter event at the CIF State Championships with a time of 53.24 seconds, her dream of winning a state title went up in flames after celebrating using a fire extinguisher.
When she blew the fire extinguisher, the opponents were gone. That was our moment of celebration, and the CIF officials made that about them. The crowd went crazy. They loved it. The booth, CIF booth went crazy. They loved it. But those few guys in those jackets, they took offense to it, didn't like it, and they made a decision based on emotions.
The North Salinas High sophomore grabbed a fire extinguisher from her father and coach and extinguished off her spikes. The CIF deemed her celebration unsportsmanlike, stripping her of her title. It's a celebration made famous by American sprint icon Maurice Green, who enjoyed her paying homage to him and thinks she should get her state title back.
Yeah, I think that was kind of heavy-handed. When I first seen the video, I thought that she created more of a disturbance when she blew her. You know what I mean? Like, it made people have to get out the way because they was breathing that shit. So you created like a little scene by using that. Yeah, or not even a but you know what I'm saying? When you lit a fire extinguisher off, like, you know, I've seen it before. People do that shit in the hallway. Everybody be choking and shit. So I thought that's kind of what she did. You know what I mean? Choked out some people that was near her, and they're like, "Yo, you tripping with your be humble." But no, that shit wasn't even that excessive. But her getting stripped of her title is gonna make her more famous than, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna have people come
winning,
to her
and actually winning the race.
Yeah. So it's gonna be actually. It's a bruise right now, but it's gonna heal, and she's gonna be all right. It ain't gonna be no scar. It's just a bruise.
Because everybody gonna be watching her next race.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, this is just a what they call that, a setback for a motherfucking whatever. You know what I mean? A minor setback for. Can't think of the saying right now, but
like old girl, what's her the Olympian chick? What's her name? The little
with the fucking hair. Yeah, she gets on my nerves though. I ain't really. Yeah, fucking Richardson, right?
Yeah.
Is that the fast one?
With the hair.
With the hair, yeah, with the fucking hair and the nails and shit. Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, do a lesson from this. Yeah, you're gonna like this that negative situation gonna actually bless you down the line because you already got the person who did the first one, the Olympians, like having your back. But be humble in your victories. You know what I mean? It goes a lot further sometimes. You know, be Barry Sanders.
She was definitely trying to go viral, but just not like that.
Yeah.
The father was in on it too. You know what I mean?
And the coach. Yes, the father and her coach was her. Or the coach was her father, or her father and her
coach. The coach was her father. Yeah, okay. Exactly.
Yeah, well, hey, y'all got viral. You know what I mean? Just hopefully that y'all can harness the moment, turn it into something positive, garnish enough attention that will, you know, and don't do that shit no more. You should have threw water on your feet. That'd have been better. Or go step into a bucket of water like they were so hot you had to cool them off like that instead of the fire extinguisher. So
but it still would have been like unsportsmanlike conduct, strip the title.
The water, you at least had a case. But they're like, why are you even blowing a fire extinguisher? That's where it was.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Because isn't it against the law to actually blow a fire extinguisher?
That's I mean, that's what I think the technicality they got you on. Like,
exactly.
Yo,
like,
where's the fire at? You know
exactly.
what I mean? Like you creating this.
We get it. You know what I mean? We get it.
So
if anything, you should have used the fan. Your father should have had a fan.
That or just like some water, or some Gatorade on your feet. You know what I mean? Or something to cool you off. Like you should have ran over there like your feet was on fire, and they came and doused you off with water on your feet. That would have been enough, and still would have drove the point. But hey. I'm sure they'll put something in there for celebrations. You know what I'm saying? Because these type of scenarios that bring all the focus on that, then they say, okay, we'll tell you what. Moving forward, we're gonna write a guideline or whatever. Exactly.
No showboating.
No using props for any types of whatever, or no discharging of a what they call a fire retardant device in public. You know what I mean? Yep. It's like
definitely.
So shout out to her though. I mean,
take her title.
Yeah, I mean,
the shit is a track. There's so many races, bro. That's what's so crazy. There's so many fucking races. It's ridiculous.
But you could have been going to practice like these people and just got detained by ICE. Let's bring it back to ICE. Just imagine you're going to your volleyball practice.
Disgusted that I have to deal with this on graduation and see one of my greatest friends be taken away for no reason.
An 18-year-old Milford High School student was detained by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officials. He's a junior at Milford High School. The boys' volleyball coach tells me he got a text before 8:30 Saturday morning from a student who was there when ICE took him away. They were driving to practice together when they got pulled over. ICE agents told the two other students in the car that they were let go because they were minors, according to the coach.
I was sitting there thinking, this can't be happening. It's one thing to see things happening in the world, and then it's another thing to have them directly impact the people that you work with and care for on a daily basis.
The police chief confirmed he's aware that the teenager was detained and it's something he's looking into, but the department was not involved.
Honestly, I'm feeling fed up. I'm kind of really upset that this happened to somebody that is so well loved by our community, somebody that would never do anything of the wrong. He's honestly an amazing person.
I'm disgusted.
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. On the way, you know, those type of scenarios, it'd be like, man, you are enforcing the law by the rule of law. But there you go.
I'm just saying. Listen, it's messed up that these things are happening to good people, but unfortunately, what the government is saying, you would have never got to know these good people because they were never supposed to be here.
Or they was here, they just overstayed. Yeah, you know, or they weren't supposed to be here that long.
Again, so these little opportunities and time you got to cuddle and connect. Unfortunately, those were never supposed to happen. You know, it's supposed to be Back to the Future. You understand? And now we got to change the timeline and erase some of these people, which is crazy because, again, you see more people who are non-criminals getting the fucking shitty end of this than the criminals.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we see.
You don't, that's what I'm saying. You don't see them going into the projects or going into downtown somewhere in LA roughing up the, you know what I'm saying? You don't see them doing that. Mind you, everybody knows where these people is at. You understand what I'm saying? You don't see those videos. You see the mom and pops going to work, the workers at Home Depot trying to, make a living for making ends meet. You got, you know what I'm saying? That's what they see. The easier target, not the one that will stab them and shoot them, because they not going like out like that, like no suckers.
No. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you rather make headlines and act like you're actually doing something that the government put out there just to, stamp for those who are getting a kick out of it. Imagine the motherfuckers who are getting a kick out of this.
Yeah.
Who actually, come on, because the same way we're like feeling a certain way about it, there's motherfuckers out there who are actually loving this shit, yo.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They loving this shit as well as niggas love watching motherfuckers get locked up on cops. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying?
True.
That's basically what they're watching right now.
Yeah.
So if y'all ever watch Cops and y'all see motherfuckers get locked up and that shit entertain y'all, this shit is entertaining for those motherfuckers.
Yeah, true.
Those crazy motherfuckers, they're taking this shit and this is some real Hunger Games shit.
Yeah.
Fucking publicly done that, and the people had enough. You know what I'm saying? They fucking said, "Fuck you. We're not dealing with that shit." Now you gotta bring the military.
It's the law. It's the law.
It's the law. Yeah, man. That shit's crazy.
Jay Harlan wants y'all deported, by the way.
Not me, man. Listen, I'm all for the reality. Everybody's an immigrant, and we all came here, and nobody's originally from here. Not none of us that we know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe our ancestors and people before us, but not us.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, I'm not saying, I don't know, man. I definitely recognize that there's an issue.
I say leave them in the country and find them. Make them pay taxes. You know what I'm saying?
Like that, yeah. And or
but make a fine. You can still make a fine. You can still make them pay. You know what I'm saying? You can make them. You can still do probation just to keep an eye on them. If you want to lock them up after, you can still do a lot of shit that'll be more beneficial to everyone, not just making the government and the people of America look bad.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like, okay, I might for sure would have tightened the border up like crazy. Like, all right, check this out. I ain't finna just go on crazy raids. I'm gonna get a lot of y'all up out of here. Just be known. You know what I mean? We're gonna be extra vigilant on some stop and frisk, on some random shit where we can get you. But I'm not gonna just be doing the raids. It's gonna be making us look like we just running up in neighborhoods, getting rid of Jose, the gardener who's been here for 30 years, got grandkids, just, you know what I mean? Got all that shit. So we don't need them kind of stories, and we're not looking for those type people. But we run across y'all, we getting y'all up out of here. Sorry, or y'all gonna have to pay some stiff fines or some type of shit to stay around. But we definitely tightening the border up like never before, so we ain't gonna worry about no more shit coming in the border, because that's now an active military zone. We'll change some shit within like a half mile on each side of the shit. We got the right moving forward to patrol using military assets. That stops all the illegal traffic down to damn near nothing. They kind of did that already when it was like, we just need X amount of border shit. So I'm like, bro, the amount of money that y'all need to tighten the border up would only equivalent to like 1 or 2 less missions that we use when we dropping bombs, practicing shit. You know what I mean? Like, that ain't even big money to stop that shit. You know what I mean? So like, but getting them up out of here, that's just the touchy subject. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
There's more negative out of it than positive. You know what I'm saying?
And you knew that was going to happen. And I could say
people are not rejoicing in the streets right now. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think that. Yeah,
there's not a public nationwide fucking extravaganza of positivity because of this shit. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like none at all. So the percentages of negative outweigh the so-called positive of this act.
Crazy. On the surface, yes, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. But like I said, it was put into act in order to take away the criminals that are here illegally, that are doing the wrong things to the United States citizen. But what we see on camera are not criminals. They're high school students. They're mothers, their fathers. Again, because they're technically breaking the law by being here, by not supposed to be here, they're making examples out of them publicly. But the ones that should be getting deported, that are hurting the economy, that are hurting the U.S. citizens, they're free.
Yeah. I guess stay tuned. We'll see how they're handling it. You know,
it's going to turn into a fucking civil war. That's what's going to happen, bro.
I see yes and no. Yeah, but I'm just like,
we got one coming. You know that, though. You know that. There's one that's been brewing for a long time.
But I don't necessarily see, like, it's like an infection. Like, is it gonna, like, you know what I mean? Is it gonna burst and just be septic, or is it, you know, or is the antibodies that's gonna eventually
think about it. Texas could be next. There's a lot of people in Texas.
True. But I'm just thinking too, like, okay, when people talk about civil war, or like, you know, you got to think of the two sides and who's fighting it. Okay.
Well, if you Texas originally belonged to Mexico.
Yeah, true. But like even that, but there's no pockets of resistance that want to take Mexico wants to take Texas back. So even in that scenario, you don't have like the two sides, like who's on which side. You know what I mean? Even when they talk about like the hood, it's gonna be a revolution. The niggas gonna. I'm like, nah. No, have you been to a gun store lately? Do you know who really owns the weapons and who really, you know what I'm saying? Like if you had a war, like the hood would lose right off the bat against any type of like if it was like fucking if it was like some type shit versus the hood loses so fast because like you know what I mean like it ain't all that shit, you know what I mean? Like first, like I own firearms and I've been to the Gander Mountains of the world. What's the other big gun stores? We have Guns Inc. When you go there and you purchase stuff, you know what I'm saying? You know, you had people that buy guns and then you got people that purchase weaponry. People that purchase weaponry be working there. The people that purchase weaponry be owning the stores and they be in the circles of friends that be at the shooting clubs and be at the people that know how to use the shit, have access to all types of shit, tactics, and you know what I mean? Like, yeah, the hood will get wiped out in the first week of the Civil War if they depend on who
they got guns that match their outfits.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like type shit where the hood is gonna be stripped. You know what I mean? They're
the reasons they started coming out with colored Glocks.
Shit like that. But then I don't know. Like you got I've had here in Michigan, we got like a good mixed population. I don't think like racial tension in my city ain't really as tight as people think. Like far as people think it's like, is Grand Rapids is racist? I'm like, nah, not really around here. You know what I mean? So in those, like, we've got a lot of firearms enthusiasts in the state, but for sure in the city. And through that, I've seen more unity amongst cross-racial lines due to the fire, like going around shooting. Like when I had a couple years ago when we was like really into this shit before ammo got so expensive, where we was shooting every weekend and meeting up with different groups of people. You meet a lot of different people on the spectrum for sure, politically, racially, all that. But then you see that they all was like gun nuts. Everybody was like, you know what I mean? So we've been at places where you think these people you would have odds with, but they was like really more alike. And the thing that made our two groups in particular, in these loose example I'm explaining, was, oh yeah, what kind of guns y'all got? What kind of this? And you'd be like, now you're having a good deep conversation with people that you know you vote differently and you know that you might have grown up, but y'all have a common factor. Y'all out here shooting guns together and realizing like, oh, they not as bad as we thought they was. I know when they saw us, they was like, look at all these niggas with these guns, but then they was like, damn, these niggas got nice guns. They know what they're doing. They're fire, you know what I mean? They're following proper etiquette with firearms. They're not, you know what I mean? There's no stereotypes, and that was made them kind of come talk to our group. And it was like, oh shit, y'all ain't all like we see on TV, and vice versa. You like, you see these, like they ain't a bunch of NRA, white power, you know what I'm saying? Like random people like we thought, you know what I'm saying? So that became cool. I've seen like. But also, I've also learned too, like, yo, if the hood ever went to war with these type of people that y'all think is on, like, y'all wouldn't survive. Look what the hell they got. They got like some army shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know. Yeah. So Civil War, I don't know. The other side.
The closer you want military branch shit.
Yeah. Facts. Anyway, next to clip. I was on a tangent. What's this clip here? The moment, the Disneyland brawl. What's up with the Disneyland brawl?
Yeah, nah, this is a continuation of remember when we had that guy a day in Disneyland and how much he spent?
Oh, okay.
Imagine you spent that money and this happens.
Oh, these are the actual employees, right?
You got people.
Or like the patrons.
Two couples.
Okay.
Check this out. She hit the baby, bro.
Baby, oh yeah. Asian
line. I think this had to do with they were cutting their line or some shit. The Asian Disneyland, they're not playing, bro.
Yeah, they ain't fucking around. What it say? The mom Brutus.
That's how you know that mom with the baby was old school. She didn't even fight back.
Yeah, she just dropped down.
Real moms would turn into the Incredible Hulk. You hit my kid? Oh, it's over for you. Let me put my kid down for a second. Somebody hold her. You about to die. Hold on.
Random. When I see that little doorway, you see that doorway in the back?
Yeah.
If you have like the crazy expensive pass at Disney, you can get this shit where you can go through those type doors and see all types of other sides of Disney. Like, and I learned this because my niece.
They got the rich side of Disney.
Yeah, my niece. My niece's family, some millionaires, right? One of them wrote a couple books. I think it's called Dork Diaries. But through this shit, right? Through some kids' books, like they got money. But anyway, one time they took my niece on vacation, and then she went to Disneyland, and they had like whatever that super duper pass type shit is, and they was showing like some videos, and like they was going through like them little doors like that and random shit. You go through there, boom, it's a whole nother fucking level where the rich folks see Disney. And I saw that door. I remember that because like she had some pictures, you know what I mean, of like, I was like, damn, y'all was just going through. It was like, yeah, we was going through all types of. Yeah, we didn't have to wait in line for nothing, and all these little extra. There's like other stores that people don't even know about, and I'm like, that's just crazy. But yeah, fuck that. You ever been to Disneyland or Disney World in your life? You say yes or no?
Nope.
It's an experience, bro. It's definitely. Epcot is one I think is dope.
They're getting brainwashed.
Like my homeboy went to his daughters last year to the Star Wars shit they got. I think that's in California. But they got the whole shit is like Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when you be walking through like the period. So you know what I mean? It's like you are
and all that shit. They're making lightsabers now.
Yeah, they got lightsabers made and all that shit. You still a little muffled.
$50 or some shit.
All right, let's see here.
Was that muffled before? I think it's this earpiece.
It's the earpiece. It's going in like a cycle. Like it goes down and comes up. Oh yeah, this right here, what you played for Throwback Thursday last week. So the musical interlude about halftime anyway. Right here we go.
Yeah, it's perfect halftime.
That's lit. Oh man, I'm gonna use this for my one of my Thailand videos. And it's long enough so I can
cash moves everything around me. Get the money, dollar bill, y'all. Cash moves everything around me. Get the money, dollar bill, y'all.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Cash moves everything around me. Get the money, dollar bill, y'all. Cash moves everything around me. Get the money, dollar bill, y'all.
Just looping that is doping up. Oh yeah. the RZA see this shit, he gonna hire him to play live, like a Tiny Desk concert. He killing that shit. You know he killing it. Look how he's looking in the camera. Yeah, he fucking that shit up.
We gotta play this clip.
Oh yeah, I'm loading this one for the outro. That was dope. That's a new musical interlude. Hold on.
That's the new halftime.
Oh, that's a close. That's another halftime. It can't be the
another
new
halftime.
Yeah.
Shout out Huncho 3 times. Bitch, I'm riding with the gang. I be riding with them AKs. Side buzzing, broad day, how about bustin' rain? All my niggas pull up on this block and let it rain. All my niggas really ready to bust in your brain. Yeah. Bitch, you know we thuggin'. Yeah. To have a boss like this, you gotta be from the fucking streets. Yeah. How you think I made a name in the fucking streets? My little brother here, L3. Yeah.
What you call it though is giving him a run for his money.
That's a continuation. You know what I'm saying? Listen, we got the rapper and we got the instrumental. Bing, 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 bing.
Yeah,
I saw this. I was like, this shit is hot. I was like, this, and then he started going crazy. I was like, oh, this is flavor.
Yeah,
I fuck with
even if I just clip this stuff.
Was freaking and crazy though.
Yeah.
Everything around me. On it.
Yeah, when he's like pointing his eye, he in the groove.
Cash moves everything around me. Get the money, dollar bill, y'all. Cash moves everything around me.
Kind of resembles a fucking Indian lady, but hey.
Get the money, dollar bill, y'all. Cash moves everything around me. Get the money, dollar bill, y'all.
Yeah, right here. That's when he's in his bag.
Holy shit.
He was in New York in the subway playing that shit, he get paid.
Easy, what?
Yeah, that shit was lit. So
you just met the man popping up to that shit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That would be lit.
That would be crazy. Salute for the new add-on for the halftime, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. After the L3s,
yeah,
got the new joint premiere.
It's a new outro video.
That's the new outro? Go ahead.
This is the new outro video. That was lit.
Oh, shit.
So shout out to him. He's in the data bank now.
He killed it. And the spot in the show for sure.
Yo, all right, what we got for clips here? Covered that one. Oh yeah, we talked about this, but we didn't show the actual clip. But
FIFA has decided that the 2026 World Cup will not be held in the United States. FIFA made the decision to remove the United States from hosting the tournament, and the responsibility falls squarely on President Trump. The organization faces a major logistical challenge after thousands of players, coaches, and fans declared they will not travel to the country. This is due to Trump's strict immigration policies generating fear, tension, and an international backlash. Athletes and delegation members fear being detained or deported, even with valid visas. Fans around the world consider the United States an unsafe location for an event as large as the World Cup. The situation is so dire that several countries have already announced they will boycott the tournament if it continues in the United States, a direct blow to the unifying spirit of soccer. Therefore, FIFA is now officially relocating the tournament to Mexico and Canada, which offer safer and more welcoming conditions for players and fans. The United States, which was supposed to be the main host, loses the world's biggest sporting event, all because of a political crisis caused by Trump's policies that go beyond football.
Yeah.
The world's biggest event. So if that could be taken away, can't the Olympics?
Nah, like I said, we on the Olympic committee. So it'd be like, nah. But
too hot for the committee. I'm like, we have to kick you out of the committee, guys. You're making it hot for us.
All right. Sure y'all want to do that?
Let me bring my boy here.
Yeah.
Fuckery, cash rules everything around. Yeah. Trump is like, are you just waiting for him to just come out in a news conference, just be like, "Fuck you! I don't give a fuck how y'all feel." That's what we waiting for.
Man, you kind of be on that shit already.
That's what I'm saying. They're just waiting for him to just really do it, because that's the only way they're gonna be like, man, because right now it's like he lost more popularity than he had. You understand what I'm saying? Like a lot of these moves are not the Trump they voted for, should they say? You know what I remember? But remember, people thought I was playing. What did I say? What did we say here at Jay's in the morning when Trump got elected? What was the title and the phrase that I used?
Fuck, I don't know.
Hail King Trump.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean,
King fucking Trump. A king rules with emotion. Emotion and no notion. It doesn't matter, bro. He's gonna call it how he gonna call it. It don't even matter how the peasants feel.
Yeah.
We can do all we want. Look, he just sending the fucking National Guard.
Yeah, he was definitely sending the National Guard in your ass. Now, that's another thing too. I think about. Okay, like I've always thought, like when you see tyranny in effect, like I would say, like even if you're looking at Nazi Europe, when you got this motherfuckers doing foul shit, you're like, well, damn, the soldiers, don't they got a conscience? Like, how can they? Cause like, look at some of these ICE raids, and I'm like, well, the people that work for ICE, like, you don't see them being like, no, I'm protesting. I can't do that. You know what I mean? You don't ever see them.
I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, being ex-military, bro, they brainwashed us, bro. And I'm gonna tell you this because I was one of those that when I got out of basic training in airborne school, if you said anything negative about the government or the military, I was ready to punch you in your face. You understand? And that comes from how they instill the fucking, the knowledge, the training and all this other shit, so you're not thinking about people because they already make the people the enemy because they call them civilians.
Civilian or just whatever. Yeah, you get a whole other terminology.
They try to, they want to, we're better, we're this, they're that. They already, basically disconnecting us from them like they're not human. You understand? So when you say those questions, when you have those are very good questions, it's hard to really answer them to the people who've been trained to literally not give a fuck about civilians.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And even a cop, what they call to protect and serve who? Civilians.
Civilians. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It all comes down to they're this, we're this type shit. If they create the division, there's no emotions attached to that. You understand?
Yeah.
Like it's all fucked up, but that's what they do, bro. It's not until like they wake up and snap out of it themselves that they realize, and you do get mutiny and people who rebel against that because it's not right. There were soldiers that literally refused to go out and do some shit because they saw what was going on.
Exactly, you see that, but it's like, I mean, I guess when you have some of them government agencies like ICE, like they've already, you've been filtered through. If you work for ICE, and you feel a certain way anyway because you work for, like you represent that. those values because you chose to even work. You know what I mean? So I'm like, are those the motherfucking hardcore ass people, the ones that are running up in there grabbing the people and be like, I don't give a fuck about you and your crying kids and not, you know what I'm saying? Like those extreme situations that we're seeing being played out that they're magnifying on the news. Like, look, you're separating that family, but I'm like, damn, that motherfucker that put the handcuffs that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't be that person. Like, fuck, I can't go in here and just, I know these people ain't on no bullshit. I know these ain't the criminals that, you know what I'm saying, that we designed that, you know what I'm saying? Like the epitome of the element to get out. Yeah, this is the other shit. It's like, fuck.
Well, you know what I found out? That how these people train to get bartenders and people that work in the casino is that they want to see if these people after their shift, if they go to slot machines. You know what I'm saying? Because they say usually what happens is somebody hits a slot for like $1,000. They said they'll usually tip the bartender. Like I had a good, I got luck because of you, because they got the machines at the bar, right? Okay. They said, but that $100 is unaccounted for. But if that $100 goes to the bartender, and that bartender is a gambler, he's gonna put the $100 in the machine. Now it makes that $100 accountable. So they find a way to psychologically put the money right back into the casino by hiring a bartender that has a gambling problem. Ain't that some shit?
That's it.
Yo, majority of casino workers gamble, bro. That is not a false narrative. That is true.
So you're saying the same thing. You create the type of I got you. On that same thing, you focus in on those types, personality types that
hate, the ones that hold that grudge, the ones that had that tragic story, the ones let's recruit them.
Yeah.
The CIA goes after these college guys with the high IQs because they're very intelligent when it comes to book, but they're not intelligent when it comes to physical aspects of shit because they usually been bookworms. Not a lot of them been athletes, and even the ones that have been athletes just focused on one, not many things. So the CIA knows the capabilities of a human being. And the fact that this person's already intellectually on a level that the regular human being is not, it'll be easier for them to process and take in a lot of information. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy. Speaking of a lot of information, we were talking about this the other day about the technology of the shot spotter technology as far as identifying gunshots. This next clip is about that.
The random gunfire that can terrorize neighborhoods.
Every time somebody calls 911, it's a different puzzle.
Gunshot detection technology. Placed high in a neighborhood, these microphones can detect the sound of gunfire, then triangulate the location where the shots were fired.
By the time the victim was able to get away from the person that was shooting at them, they called 911, but they had no idea where it originally started. We're able to use the gunshot detectors in some cases to go back and find where the actual crime scene was. By doing that, we're hoping that we can curb on some of the violent crime within the city.
It looked kind of like my city. That's crazy. That skyline. Yeah, I've seen that. I guess I remember now. I was telling you I saw that in 2015. I remember it specifically because I was watching a Vice documentary, and I think it was in New Jersey where they had, like they got some federal funding to put that through, and it's like I think at every street light or whatever, that's where they had a whole network of those microphones, and then they had within minutes, 90 seconds, they can pinpoint what type of weapon it was and where it happened at, so they could respond to the shit. And they were saying that actually was piggybacking off of some old tech that the government has that they have in the ocean, same shit, where they have a microphone sensors that can triangulate locations of submarines and random shit that they hear, with buoys. So it's the same type of shit but put to a city, a grid of microphones that can just triangulate any type of sound they're trying to identify on. So you think they just, let's say for example, right now they train it on gunshots, blow, right? All right, they could train that shit on any sound. Think about that. voices. Like we want to hear whatever, you know what I'm saying? He ain't using his cell phone.
That Batman shit. That Batman shit.
Like
triangulate that motherfucking cell phone. Get that motherfucking sound. That's exactly what they're doing.
Europe. So yeah, they've been around him definitely here in Boston. Facts. What up, J Me? Salute to the good fellas in the chat. Yeah. So yeah, that. But just think about if we really like you make a smart city, you got all that shit in there. Like you got that, we got the facial recognition shit on every light, you know, like fuck it, we gonna put one on every goddamn street light. That shit's got the camera with all the facial recognition technology. We got the microphones across the whole shit. You know what I'm saying? We got
out there in Asia. They got fart detectors. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you go ahead and fart and no fart zone.
But real, they got this shit where like if you jaywalk, you know, by the time you cross the street, your picture will pop up. They got a social credit score. Where like doing shit like that, you ever seen those things
that
about
Black Mirror shit?
Yeah, but like real,
they won't even let you fly. They take your fucking passport from you if you hit a low score because they don't want you representing the country.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down for some of that.
That shit's getting wild, dog.
Yeah, but I guess you gotta look at the shit that could happen to it. Yes, but like ever since they fucking legalized weed, bro. I don't do no illegal shit. So, you know what I mean? You can't catch me on no bullshit. So if I'll give you some access to some of my info just to make, you know, like I can see the future where you don't got to carry no ID because fucking they got your eye scanner, thumbprint, handprint shit on doors and all that type of shit. I think that's going to be an inevitable, you know what I mean? What are the sinister implications? It could be a lot of shit, you know, especially nowadays with the AI, how they frame a motherfucker nowadays, like with video. And put you there and all that.
You ain't got no way out, bro. They can get you for murder right now if they wanted to, bro.
Yeah, they easily frame somebody. Like
hell yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Recreate history. You're like, oh, did you see how you know how Elon and Trump's going back and forth and they talk about Epstein shit and all that. But did you see like Joe Rogan had Kash Patel, the FBI director, on an interview live as the shit was happening with the Epstein shit. They was already talking about Epstein before Elon tweeted what it was. It kind of was like random. I think it really was like, and then so he like the tweet happened during their interview. So he brought it up and the FBI director was mad, uncomfortable and all type of shit. But prior to that, Joe Rogan was pressing him because they were saying now they have tapes of Epstein in his cell. First they said there was no tapes, but now they said there are, but it's like really bad and blurry. And then there was like, what AI could create anything. And he was like, but these are some old tapes. And Joe was like, well, AI could create blurry, fucked up imagery that could look like old tapes, you know? And I was like, facts. Like it could create old shit easier than to create clear shit. So they could be like,
you could tell it, take this tape and distort it. Yeah, nobody could figure this shit out. Yeah, that's it.
Or whatever, or make it look like some old shit like from back in like the Kennedy shit. They could come up with a brand new AI version of a new shit that they found some film that they didn't know about and blah blah blah. And people believe that shit. Like I was thinking about that. Like, how can you make something that's
another timeline? Kennedy lived. There's still a J's in the morning because we're in all the universes.
Facts. Yeah. It's just crazy.
It is, man. That's what I'm saying. Nobody's safe, bro. And this is why, remember, they already voted to even deport U.S. citizens. If they consider you a criminal. Remember, now cops got the power to say that you're mentally incapable to be walking in the streets right now if they wanted to, bro. They can fucking put you in the loony bin right now if they wanted to, bro.
Yeah, I mean, there's always some reach of the
shit right now. They got too much freedom to take away our freedom right now. That's how crazy that shit is right now, bro.
Yeah.
We got too much freedom to do it.
Set the clip up for the Brinks robbery.
This shit happened in New York. Yeah, man. So listen. we need to borrow some money. They said no. So they started a new venture.
A bold armed robbery of a Brinks truck in Queens, and tonight 2 suspects are still on the run. Police say the bandits got away with cash and the security guard's weapon. Xenia Maldonado was first on the scene and explains how it all unfolded right outside a neighborhood bank.
2 suspects got away with an undisclosed amount of cash from the back of this Brinks truck Monday, according to police. Hours later, the truck remained taped off along 205th Street near the corner of Linden Boulevard. The Bank of America next door shut down to customers while police investigated.
I'm surprised. Really surprised.
Police say 2 men in ski masks with guns approached 2 Brinks employees just before 9 a.m. The suspects took a gun off a guard before stealing cash from the armored truck and taking off along Linden Boulevard in a black sedan. No shots were fired and no one suffered any major injuries. The sources say the drivers were about to make a drop-off at the Bank of America before the robbery. Police say they are still looking for the 2 suspects. No arrests have been made. From St. Albans, Queens, Xenia Maldonado, CBS.
You know the thing about them armored truck robberies.
Dipped off to the soup.
Real quick, but the first suspects in them armed truck robberies, they be looking at the fucking drivers.
Of course,
they're like heavy into their background. Like, who was you calling that day? Because that be the easiest one on some inside job shit.
Exactly. Come on, the fact that they were able to take away the weapon, knew when the drop was, and no resistance at all, and they got away.
Yeah, like that's inside.
Come on, bro. Fucking what's that movie with Ice Cube's son? What is the name of that? Den of Thieves. That shit was some Den of Thieves shit right there, bro.
They just got part 2 of that shit, right?
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty good.
Yeah. Speaking of pretty good, I'm trying to think of a movie I saw on a plane was called I liked. Fuck, damn! I just had the name in my brain. Heretic. It's called Heretic. You want a good thriller movie that was called Heretic? Watch that shit. I started watching on Netflix. Heretic.
Okay.
It's really suspenseful and deep. It's actually like some Mormon going to the door. You know how to be going door to door. Would you like to learn about, you know what I'm saying, you know, Mormon religion, and then a dude who is like the villain of the movie, he like invites them in, and then they had this deep ass conversation. But it's a whole lot of other shit going on. So it's like it was just one of them things. Like it's like I didn't know what it was. I watched the movie based on the actor. I think Hugh Grant is in it. He always plays, you know, like good characters and shit. So I watched it. I was impressed. So yeah, check that shit out if you want some suspense shit. But he breaks down a whole lot of interesting religious conversations and things that we're taught to believe, and a lot of, you know, like the movie touched on a lot of different topics. You know what I'm saying? Being suspenseful and scary and shit too was pretty cool. All right, let's see here. I started watching that Sinners. I didn't finish it though. I got right to about the middle. So I think it was a good so far. For those of you who are listening that think it was the greatest movie ever, I don't know if it would say it's the greatest movie ever so far, but it was pretty interesting thus far. There's another clip in here about the Keyshawn Davis. I might try to pull it up on YouTube because the clip wouldn't load for some reason.
Oh, that one basically, you know, the whole thing that happened with him. Supposedly they said that the brothers jumped the fighter, but
the dude that beat him.
But that's not what happened. The clip that I sent you was like 5 minutes long. That one is the coach saying what happened, like actually happening with the video footage that they're putting out and the narrative they're trying to spin off of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
there was an altercation, but they didn't jump. Nobody was jumped.
All right,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think this is the clip right here we can watch. I found it on YouTube. It's like a longer clip. Keyshawn's brother was the one that was fighting, right?
I think all 3 of them was fighting.
They both fought on that night. Okay. I kind of watched because Keyshawn Davis,
old boy, got fucked up. That's all I know.
Yeah, but see the reason why I was on Keyshawn Davis was because he's from my city. I thought he was, at least, or I'm trying to think. I think he was from. It say he's from fucking Virginia, but he got some tie to my city because that's like one of my peoples that I know. I had to train for working his. That's how I found out about him. It was like, yeah, you never heard of Keyshawn? Such and such work with him. He be in our city, so that's why I started. He'd been on my radar, and I was like, damn, this dude is nice. So I've been watching his fights. So when I seen that fight, I fell asleep. When I woke up, I seen the highlights from, but it was showing about this aftermath of they jumped dude in the locker room and shit. So that's what kind of some crazy shit.
Yeah,
so I was like, yeah. So let's hear what the coach had to say about what really had happened. What had happened was.
There's a whole lot of people that reached out. How could they do this? I'm like, first of all, nobody even was backstage. Nobody that's making these comments on why would they do something like they fumbled about all these things. None of y'all saw any damn thing but what they showed y'all, which was the aftermath. The interviews. Nobody even asked. Now, this ain't even giving details of what happened last night. I just want y'all to read between the lines, because everybody talking about you got they were saying that the man got jumped last night. I want y'all to listen to his words. He said, wait a minute, Keyshawn got in my face, and we was face to face. And we was like heads bumping each other. And then the people grabbed him and they was like, yeah, man. How the hell does that equate to getting jumped? These are his words. These are his words. I want y'all to listen to this. How the hell does that equate to people getting jumped? Like, this is when you know people want the negative to happen. This is when you know the people actually are waiting for the failure. This is when you know the people actually want your ass to fail. It's always easy to criticize something that's not an option for you. If you had the option to fight at the scope last night, you would. If you had the option to be an Olympian, you would. If you had the option to be a world champion, you would. It's always easy to criticize something that's not an option. If it was an option for you, you would take advantage of it. If it was an option for you, you would take advantage of it. But when I see these damn posts, these fake ass supporters, this convenient love, because I can guarantee you, and I saw it in real time after the fight, the same people that was talking all of this this crazy shit is the same people that's going to come up to him and ask to take pictures. The same people that are going to ask for free tickets to the next fight. Yes, another thank you, JJ, for actually. I'm glad you brought that shit up, because JJ. Now this is actually coming from people who were actually there. The dude Albright, his brother, is the one who hit one of our teammates. Like I said,
snitched.
Recognize the narrative that's been pushed. All you hear is headlines of.
He said read between the lines.
They jumped him. The commotion that y'all saw is the aftermath of once Albright brother punched one up. That's when you saw the commotion. That's when you saw everybody jumping in. That's when you saw everybody getting riled up after his brother swung on one of our team. So what y'all saw on ESPN of people pushing around, and that was after Albright brother came back there and literally swung on one of our guys. Not just swung, hit one of our guys in the face. but y'all rather no. Let's not give the person that gives to our community the benefit of the doubt, as if targeting people in a position of power, especially black men in a position of power, that's no they would never do that. The media would never try to paint somebody one of us. The media would never try to push the narrative that wait a minute, if y'all listen to the comment.
So what happened, bro? You know what I'm saying? So like either way, y'all was in dude dressing room.
He told who did it. You heard him? He said, read between the lines. He said
but I guess the thing that makes Keyshawn, the Davis brothers, look bad in this scenario was because they lost the fight. So it just looks like y'all was bitter about losing the fight, and that's what boiled over backstage. Even if it was disrespect from the other side, whoever started it, you know what I mean? It just looks bad on there. Just because like y'all was fighting after the fight. And I seen some video after, like when they was like arguing outside. I think it happened after they got outside the dressing room, and kind of like
outside the dressing room, some other shit was about to pop up, but they pulled them away from each other.
Yeah, so I think that was after the initial shit.
Yeah, but he did got a knot on his fucking forehead though. You see that shit?
Yeah,
he had a knot, and the reporter asked him, "Oh, you didn't have that before the fight? Did that happen right now?" And he's like, "Yeah, it did." Like he's playing victim on TV too, though. He's going along with that narrative.
And I think dude was the underdog too, so you know what I mean. So it was like,
because old boy's undefeated, right? Or his first pro loss or some shit like that.
Yeah, that was his brother. Yeah, so well.
Yeah, he was getting fucking socked in the face though. That shit was crazy. Bing, you see them highlights? Oh man,
if I can find that.
Bing.
that was Keon Davis, the one that fought, right? Or the one that got beat.
I don't even know, bro. That's like my first time even hearing of this dude. Like I ain't even see him fight. I ain't even see him fight. I saw the highlights.
Yeah, that was the brother. That was the brother. Let me see.
Because now, ever since that Arab dude started promoting, these fights are like at weird times, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like the fights be like during the day or the afternoon type shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Did they both fight? That was
that's what I'm saying. I thought all three of them fought. Two of them fought, something like that.
Yeah, so Keyshawn lost then. Yeah. Okay, because it shows Keon Davis. Yeah, Keon Davis seizes the moment at home. All right, so that's Keyshawn. But Keyshawn Davis, I didn't watch that fight. Davis fight, Keyshawn fight.
So he won the fight, then saw his brother get beat up in the main event.
Yeah. Is that what happened? Let me see, because this is the. Here's this clip.
What do Elma, Jimmy, and Marcus have?
Let's see here.
Oh, Keyshawn didn't make weight.